What up YouTube, it's Alex and I'm back at again for another video. So like I said in my New Year's recap, I will be doing a Walking Dead Monday, even though it is not Monday, it is Sunday. So, you know what, it's okay. Same thing. I'm like 2 weeks late with this, so I don't think it honestly matters what day it actually legit is. So, let's just dive right into this episode 8? I don't honestly know. It was like 2 weeks ago, so I know I stink. I lied. It's been like a month, hasn't it? It's been like 3 weeks. I don't even know. It's been quite a while since that episode aired. So that episode was what everyone thought was going to be the end of the war. Uh, like I was talking with a teacher, I think it was like a week before it actually aired, because me and this one teacher, we always are talking about Walking Dead with each other, and so I was talking with him, and he was like, "Oh, because if you look at the commercial, it says that the 90-minute episode, and it will leave you hanging with like some random thing." And he's like, "Oh, what do you think it is? What do you think it's gonna be?" And so we sat there and we had a conversation about it. Um, and that episode was kind of they could have done a lot more with it. It was kind of boring in places of like, oh my goodness, why are you just dragging this on? Um, like everyone thought this was the end. This is where the war was gonna end. I even thought that this was where the war was gonna finally end, because they were dragging it out so much in the season. They could have done so much more with it. They could have followed the comics a little bit better. Uh, Now they are completely going off comic book. They are not even remotely close with what is happening. Oh my god, it is the worst. I wish they would do a lot more comic book stuff and a little bit less of like let's improvise kind of stuff. So I'm kind of upset about that. Of like, why would you people even do this? That is no. Mm-mm. But so the war was. I think they had it in mind of like maybe war is gonna end at mid-season finale. They should have just done that. Now they're gonna drag it out for another half of the season. I was kind of hoping it would get the whole season, but then as like I before it even came out, I was like, oh yes, full season, full season. As I did one of my reviews of the before season 7, season whatever 8, I think, yeah, season 8 actually premiered. Um, I was like, oh, we should totally have a full season of the war. The war deserves a full season. Now I'm kind of regretting that I said this, and I'm kind of like taking it back of like, no, they shouldn't have done it a full season. They should have only done it half a season. That it should have ended right at mid season finale, and then they go on with whatever goes on. Like they go on with more of the things that happen in the comics. Um, and so I kind of hoped that they were gonna do that. They did not. But so it opens up in like I don't even know what it opens up in really. It was really weird. They are finally they're finally bringing it to one of the like because in the comics they bring the war to like the front line of the war to Alexandria, to the hilltop, to the kingdom, and to all of them. They finally are kind of doing that because they finally go and they are trying to like take their leaders of they were trying to find Ezekiel. I think they were also trying to find Maggie. Uh, they were and they were just planning on just executing them, but where they were planning on executing them, it was kind of stupid. Of like, why you bring them to Alexandria? Like that's kind of stupid. Why not kill them in their own home, like place? That's where you kind of need to like kill him. It just no. If you're gonna kill him, why drag them all the way to a different place? That's kind of stupid. Um, and it was really weird when they have the box with Maggie and yeah, Ezekiel's right hand man there. I cannot remember his name right now. It'll probably come to me in a few minutes. Um, but it, I was so convinced that's where Jerry. That's his name. Is Jerry. I thought that's where Jerry was gonna die. In the comics, Jerry died actually well before that. He died in the one episode where everyone dies in the field. That's where he was supposed to die. Because in the comics, he dies out in the open field and gets gunned down and gets killed. That's where I thought Jerry was going to die. And so I thought, oh my goodness, they're going to do exactly what they did with Abraham. Abraham was due to die well before when he died in the show. In the comics, they killed him off almost like the doctor there, the one doctor who got like shot through the eye with a bow with a crossbow. That's how Abraham was supposed to die. And so I was like, oh, they're gonna finally catch up with Jerry and be like, oh, we got to kill him off now. And so I was kind of upset that they were gonna kill off Jerry. I really like the character of Jerry, but happily enough, he did not die. That was very exciting. But so then it was 90 minutes of like I can barely remember most of the different things in the episode of the 90-minute episode. It just clearly shows that it was kind of boring, that like I can't remember like most things in it. There was only like a few points that were like, oh hey, um, that really jumped out at me, was like, oh whoa, okay, they did that and stuff like that. So there was only few parts that actually like you can direly remember. Everyone, if you ask anyone, everyone will tell you the ending. If you ask, oh, what happened in uh, the mid-season finale of Walking Dead, everyone's just gonna tell you the ending of the episode because of what happens. Because that was like the biggest shocker ever, and I also got kind of mad about that because AMC, if anyone from AMC is ever watches this, you guys stink, because that was the stupidest thing to do. Because and I will get to why it is the stupidest thing you possibly could do on the show. But so then the battle finally comes to Alexandria. I did like that Alexandria kind of sees like, oh hey, we actually legit are fighting a war here. Because I don't think they actually are like kind of noticing of like, oh dang, we actually do lose a lot of people in this war. The kingdom has already seen this of like, hey, oh dang, we actually, this war will cost us a lot of people. When Ezekiel finally like shut himself out and was like, no, I'm not coming out. Um, that's when the kingdom finally was shown like the true light of what war can actually do. And so Alexandria kind of saw that. They've already seen it a little bit more because they see that they like why the whole revolution actually started was because of Glenn and Abraham. That's kind of what fueled their fire. Was like, oh, they killed two of our people. We got to kill them now. And so I Alexandria has kind of seen it, but not as bad as the kingdom. But so, and now that they're seeing the war actually at their front doorstep was kind of interesting to see. Because I was kind of excited about it too, because in the comics they do come, Negan and the Saviors come to Alexandria, and they just, oh man, it is like just total, just everything is destroyed. Almost all the buildings are destroyed. You kind of see that in the first episode of the season is when you see the vision of Old Man Rick of like, oh, there's new buildings that have been built. It's because of that, because of because they just destroy it, and you now see it in the show is like, oh, they actually legit did destroy some stuff. So I did like that. Uh, a lot of chances for Carl to die in that episode. I didn't. As I was watching Talking Dead, um, and I really like watching Talking Dead after Walking Dead because it kind of gives you like a little bit of insight of like what because sometimes they have the producers on and different people, and I like it when they have the producers on because you can kind of see like what's their mindset, what were they trying to accomplish in that episode, uh, but so they were saying on it if you look at any episode where someone major is going to die, they do the whole episode pinpointing different things about them. And that was what this episode was majorly about, was they were pinpointing different things about one specific character, and that was Carl. Now Carl, he hasn't died yet. Um he is set to die in the newest episode. When the next half of the season comes back, he is scheduled to be killed. Um no one really knows who's gonna do it because it. Let's be honest here. It can't be Rick. Rick can't. He wouldn't be able to make it. I don't think it's Michonne either because Michonne has really grown to kind of love him like he is her own son, and so I don't think she can actually do it. But how they're killing him off is really stupid. He was bit by a walker because he was saving that one guy from a few episodes back of just randomly he was like, oh, let me bring him to Alexandria, and now that he's in and they're all hanging out in the sewers because Negan is laying waste up on like the surface to Alexandria, and so it was kind of weird. Um, and then I did like it how you actually see where does Dwight's loyalty really lie in that episode. That you see that Dwight is legit loyal to uh, Rick and his group and his uprising. I love that. That you see that he finally, because you can sit there and you're like, he keeps going back and forth. Now you definitely see because he turned the gun and started just shooting the saviors. I really like that you see that. That was really really good for them to do. Um, but yeah, I really like that. So, but back to this whole Carl thing. Oh my god, that this is the major thing that like at the that they were like, oh, it's gonna leave you talking. The ending was gonna leave you talking and all this stuff. That's why it was because they had Carl scheduled to die in this episode. I did not like that. Because they have he the character of Carl has so much left to bring to the show. In the comics, he brings so much. It was like it's kind of stupid that they're gonna kill him off. Um, I'm hearing rumors that it was Chandler Riggs, the guy who actually plays Carl. It was his choice. He wanted Carl to die. That he's kind of like phasing out of it. I can understand that, but like, man, dude, seriously, no. Your character has so much left to like bring to the story of The Walking Dead. Because in the comics, he ends up finding a new group. He grows as a character. He becomes like second in command under Rick. People look up to him and they're like, "Oh my goodness, it's Rick's son." And he just and now no, they're just destroying that. I hate that. All because a zombie bit him. Maybe they're gonna like be like, "Oh, he's gonna live." Maybe they're gonna like do what they did in The Last of Us. If any of you have played The Last of Us, I just recently got the game, and so I've been playing it. And so I was like, oh, maybe they're gonna do what they did in this game to Walking Dead. is someone got bit and they didn't die and become a zombie. Maybe they're gonna do that with Carl. Maybe Carl's the lucky one. I don't think he is though, because if you look at the look ahead, um, there's a grave, and it looks like it's a fresh grave, so it's gonna be Carl, most likely in that ground. Uh, so that it's pretty depressing that you're gonna be losing one of the main characters who has grown up and who's grown up in the world of zombies, and became a stronger character, and now is going to be dying. He was part of the last three people who were from the original cast of like season one. If you look back, the only people who were still alive from season one is Rick, because Rick can't ever die apparently. Daryl and Carl were the only three people still left alive. And I guess Carol, but like apparently no one counts Carol. Like what the heck? Carol was from there, so okay. There's four people. Um, but like what? No. Why are you killing the youngest person off? God. So I didn't. I really hated that. AMC, you stink for doing that. Why would you make us kind of grow um, to to really really like a character, and then you just rip him from us? Why are you always doing that, AMC? God. But so yeah, Carl is dying. Uh, Zeal is dying basically, but he's not going to like die like in the near future. It depends on how they're going to go about introducing the new group. Now that Carl is going to be gone, he introduced them to this new group uh, that I am very very excited about, that they will be introducing to them. Um, Hopefully now that Carl is gone, but Ezekiel is like taking heavy fire from the Saviors. Morgan's sitting outside of his walls, just sitting there listening to them beat him up. Morgan, what is wrong with you, man? Go out and help Ezekiel. God, you got your little like stick. Go smack them with your stick. There you go. I think you have a gun on you too. You can go shoot them, smack them with your stick. There you go. Um, don't be sent out there. But yeah, this episode was just really boring and dragged out. What were they really going to do at the end of it? Because they knew that they had people hooked because of that commercial of like, you won't want to miss the ending. They knew that they had people hooked, and so they just made them sit there for 90 minutes and be bored. AMC, why? My God. But all in all, I did not like this episode. It was very bad. It could have been better. They could have not killed Carl off. Yes, I know. Anyone who watches the show will always say, "Oh, they could not have killed Carl off." But they really need him in the show to kind of bring it, like, to make them stronger. Maybe this will actually fuel the fire though. Now that Carl is dead, even though no one killed him, it was a zombie. But maybe knowing Rick, he's just gonna be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna kill everyone now," um, and just kind of take it out on Negan and his group. So it's a good and bad thing, but I really wish they could have had someone else die, not Carl, because Carl is a really big part. So I did not like this episode. So if you guys have actually watched this episode and you liked it, you can leave a comment down below of like, why did you like it? Maybe you can try to persuade me into liking this episode. Uh, if you have anything to say about this episode, leave a comment down below. Um, And if you have not hit that subscribe button, hit it right now, and you can see all my latest and greatest content. Awesome. But I will try to get a new video out about that Avengers trailer. I know there's a lot of them out there, but I will try to get what's my reaction on that out to you guys, and hopefully more episode videos to come in the new year. So I will see you guys in the new year. See ya.